Yeah, they just had a little 3-deep fire zone, brought the nickel off the edge, safety dropped down. It didn't look like they were doing a replacement fire zone, so I knew at the back away we were going to get 3 pushing through. I had an opportunity to kind of run in there if I could beat my guy, and just had to beat the safety to the end zone.
Thank you so much.
Now, on the outside, it looks like Cooper Kupp appeared out of nowhere. I mean, where did this guy come in to win the Triple Crown? But on a closer inspection, you'll see that he was kind of built for this. The theme of this video is that Cooper Kupp was no accident. Kupp has been breaking records at every level he's played at. This Super Bowl MVP was 3 generations in the making. He's the grandson of NFL offensive lineman Jake Kupp, and he's the son of Craig Kupp, an NFL quarterback. His family is one of only 5 in NFL history to have 3 generations selected in the NFL draft. Kupp attended and graduated Davis High School in Yakima in 2012, where he was a 2-sport athlete in football and basketball for the Pirates athletic team. A 2-way All-State selection, he earned first 4A All-State honors as a defensive back and honorable mention accolades as a wide receiver from the Associated Press, as selected by sportswriters and broadcasters. Kupp was also named by the Seattle Times as a white chip selection as one of the top 100 prospects in the state of Washington. Kupp was a unanimous first-team All-Columbia Basin Big 9 League wide receiver and defensive back at Davis. He finished his senior year with 60 receptions for 1,059 yards, 17.7 per catch, and 18 touchdowns, and he scored 22 total touchdowns to set a school record. He also had 11 rushes for 122 yards and 2 touchdowns as he helped Davis come 1 game away from a berth in the Washington State 4A playoffs. Kupp finished his prep career without a single college football scholarship offer, despite recording 110 catches for 2,100 yards. 3 weeks after the final game of his senior season, he received his first scholarship offer to play at Eastern Washington.
Adams to the near side, steps up, going deep for Kupp. He's got another one. Touchdown.
What it takes to be great, what it takes to, and what it means to strive for perfection in everything you do, and I think that's something that I pride myself on.
In 2013, Kupp entered his redshirt freshman year as a starter at wide receiver. He finished the season having set numerous single-season school and national receiving records at the football championship subdivision level. He has set national freshman records for receiving yards, 1,691, total touchdown catches, 21, consecutive games with a touchdown catch, 14, and receptions at 93. For all his accomplishments, he was recognized as a 2013 Jerry Rice Award winner, given to the top freshman player in the FCS. Cooper Kupp is the first Eastern Washington player and the first from the Big Sky Conference to receive this award. Cooper Kupp was named a consensus first-team All-American, having been honored by the Associated Press. He was the first freshman wide receiver to be named as a first-team All-American since Randy Moss in 1996. Despite his All-American status, having a target on his back, he was able to get more receptions each year.
Played at Eastern Washington with Cooper Kupp.
Yes.
Right now, there's a lot of players, media, people in the world. Cooper Kupp's the best receiver in the NFL, right?
Yeah.
So when the best receiver in the NFL says you are better than him, how does that make you feel?
I was in college, man, and my senior year, I was getting senioritis, bro. Ready to get up out of there, man. I was like, bro, I wasn't going to 7-on-7 practices, nothing. I wasn't going to nothing. I'm at home like, I'm finna go to the league, man. Like, you feel me? I'm at the FCS. You feel me? I ain't got no type of accolades. And I'm really thinking like that. Like, I'm finna get up out of here. I'm not going to class and just not making the right decisions, honestly. He came to my house, like, and I looked like that. Like, you at the door, and he came and sat down, and he just told me, like, bro, I need you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't do what I'm trying to do without you. Like, you helped me get to, the destiny. And it just changed it shifted my mind. And he told me, like, yeah, you better than me. I just work harder than you. Cooper's
Dave?
ready to go to the league his sophomore year in college.
Right.
Oh, probably his freshman year.
Yeah.
He was that professional. He was
We're
tight.
seeing
I'm
the
telling you.
results of what you're saying right now because
100%.
right now, Cooper, he led in everything. Yards,
Triple crown.
touchdown.
Triple crown.
Yeah, receiving catches. Yeah.
Dude, I mean, and this is after an ACL injury.
That's even.
On top of that,
There you go.
to do what he's doing.
So by the time Cooper Kupp is finished with college, you kind of start to see a trend develop in that everywhere this guy goes, he sets records. He works his butt off, he keeps his head down, and he just goes ahead and becomes the best player on every team he's been a part of. So by the time you see the awards he's won in college, including the Walter Payton Award, the Jerry Rice Award, he's been an All-American for 4 years, 2-time College Football Performance Awards, FCS Wide Receiver Award. He looks like this is not an accident. He's just ready to go. So at this point, it's all about whether the NFL is going to see if he's got the talent or not to draft him, because could forgive him for getting no college scholarship offers, because understanding the area of Washington State, you don't know where Yakima is. It's not a big place. It's not necessarily a football hub. It's just a little central Washington town. So the idea that not a lot of scouts or anything were coming to his games isn't too far-fetched, because it's not super close to anything. Once he gets to college, even though he's playing in the FCS, he can still show what he's able to do. And you can get a glimpse of the things that he's been able to do on the next level that he was showing all along. So by the end of Cooper Kupp's career at Eastern Washington, he has several records. One of them is his 428 total receptions. Another one of the records he has is 6,464 total yards, which is an NCAA record for total yards from scrimmage, as well as for a receiver. He's also accomplished the 73 receiving touchdowns, which is the most in FCS history, passing the original record that was 58. He did it in high school. He's now doing it at the college level, and now he's going to get ready for the draft because it's his senior year, and he's done everything he can do.
With the 69th pick of the 2017 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Cooper Kupp, receiver, Eastern Washington.
So another weapon to go with Jared Goff, and you're thinking to yourself, man, Kupp, that name sounds familiar? Well, you would be correct. Kupp's father, Craig, and his grandfather both played in the NFL. Craig was a quarterback, a fifth-round pick out of the Giants in 1990, and grandfather, Jake, an offensive lineman who was a ninth-round pick out of the Cowboys in 1964. He played guard for 12 seasons and is in the Saints Hall of Fame. So the bloodlines are strong, Mel, for Cooper Kupp.
Real strong. Here's a kid had big numbers last 2 years ago. Could have come out, decided to go back and put up huge numbers again. Look what he did against Oregon a couple games. Look what he did in the bad weather conditions. He's getting open and catching the ball. Nothing bothers this kid.
The Rams selected Cooper Kupp in the 2017 NFL Draft in the 3rd round. This selection made Kupp one of 5 families to have 3 generations of players drafted in the NFL. Kupp got through his first training camp and earned himself a spot on the roster's wide receiver depth chart. He made his debut in the Rams season opener against the Indianapolis Colts and recorded 4 receptions for 76 yards, including an 18-yard touchdown pass from Jared Goff, making the first of his career during the Rams' 46-9 victory. In week 4, Kupp made 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown in the Rams' 35-30 win over Dallas Cowboys. During a week 7 matchup in London against the Arizona Cardinals, he caught 4 passes for 51 yards and caught an 18-yard touchdown in the Rams' 33-0 victory. Through the first 7 games, Kupp led the Rams in red zone targets with 11 and developed as Jared Goff's top receiver in the red zone and 3rd downs. He was 4th in the entire NFL in red zone targets behind Devontae Adams, Larry Fitzgerald, and Des Bryant, who were tied with 20 red zone targets each. In week 9, Kupp made his first NFL start, catching 3 passes for 54 yards in a 51-17 victory over the New York Giants. During week 12 against the New Orleans Saints, Kupp posted his first career game with over 100 yards, where he finished with 116 as the Rams won 26-20. In week 14 against the Philadelphia Eagles, he finished with 5 receptions, for 118 yards and a touchdown. By December, Kupp was a full-time starter at wide receiver and ended his rookie season in 2017 with 62 receptions for 869 yards and 5 touchdowns. The Rams finished atop the NFC West with an 11-5 record. On January 6, 2018, Kupp appeared in his first career playoff game and made 8 receptions for 69 yards and a touchdown as the Rams lost by a score of 26-13 to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFC wildcard game at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. Following the season, Kupp was also named to the 2017 All-Rookie team by the Pro Football Writers Association. By the next season in 2018, Cooper Kupp was named a starter, and although his season did show much progress and an upward projection, it was shortened by an injury, a tear to his ACL, a non-contact injury in a win over the Seattle Seahawks ended that season. Kupp returned in 2019 and finished the season with 94 receptions for 1,161 yards and 10 touchdowns. He led the team in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns. Kupp and teammate Robert Woods gave the Rams a 1,000-yard receiving duo. Kupp's 10 receiving touchdowns tied with Mark Andrews for the second most in the NFL in 2019, and he was ranked 89th by his fellow players on the top 100 NFL players list. After wearing number 18 for 3 seasons, Kupp finally switched his jersey to his OG number 10 from his Eastern Washington days. In 2020, Kupp had 92 receptions for 974 yards and 3 touchdowns. He recorded 3 games with at least 100 yards. He led the team in receptions and receiving yards that season. Kupp's performance throughout the 2021 season was one of the greatest statistical receiving seasons in NFL history. With the addition of Matthew Stafford in the offseason, he started the season on a high note. The Rams went on to go 12-5 that season, and Kupp set numerous franchise single-season receiving records, which resulted in a Pro Bowl and a first-team All-Pro Bowl honors. He was named NFC Offensive Player of the Month for both September and October. His 145 receptions for 1,947 yards were both franchise records, and his 16 touchdowns was second all-time on the Rams list for a season. For the 2021 season, Kupp earned the receiving Triple Crown, becoming the first player since Steve Smith Sr. in 2005 to lead the league in receptions, receiving touchdowns, and receiving yards. Kupp's 1,947 yards finished only second in NFL history to Calvin Johnson's 1,964 in 2012, while his 140 were second only to Michael Thomas's 149 in 2019. So again, we see the trend of every place that Cooper Kupp goes, he's a record setter. So for those who look deeper and see what he's been doing, this isn't a surprise. But from the outside looking in, you're like, where did this kid come from? In Super Bowl 56 against the Cincinnati Bengals, Kupp scored his first career Super Bowl touchdown, an 11-yard reception. In the fourth quarter game-winning drive, Kupp ran for 7 yards on a critical 4th and 1 play, and the quarterback, Matthew Stafford, connected on multiple successful catches, including a game-winning touchdown, which led to his selection as the Super Bowl MVP. Kupp's 33 receptions over 4 playoff games set a new NFL record for a single postseason, while his 478 yards and 6 touchdowns ranked second in league history behind Larry Fitzgerald of the Arizona Cardinals.